Hey everyone, welcome back to Throttle Grotto. What do these two clips and 2 weeks of hunting around in the garage have in common? Find out on this episode of Throttle Grotto. These two clips have been the bane of my mental existence for like the past week and a half. I have been looking for them in every corner of the shop. I have absolutely ripped this like half of the garage apart trying to find them. I was like, I know I have at least one pair of these things. What bin are they in? I've got bins of bolts, I've got bins of clips and all kinds of things. I'm like, where are these things? So what are they? These are the clips that hold the heater box into the body on an early car. So 75, 76. The later cars, like I think starting in 77 through 84, they had 4 bolts that actually held the heater box to the rain tray from underneath. Probably a stronger system, and that's probably why they switched to it, but my car didn't come with that. So I literally have been looking everywhere, and tucked in the corner of a place I didn't think I had any rabbit parts. There was another box of stuff that I took apart from the car when I had taken it apart to do the interior painting a long time ago, and I found the heater box clips. So I'm really excited about having found these little clips. I got some new toys in the shop. I'll show you later in the episode, and let's get to it. So we are here in the car. I've got the heater box propped up with a piece of wood. You can see here where I'll see if I can point it out with a screwdriver because my fingers are too large. I had to fix this with a plastic welder where it broke off, but I put a new heater core in, got all that stuff. So these go in just like this. Alright, so if you're ever stuck working on one of these early cars, the easiest way to get these clips in is you hook them over the edge of the rain tray, and then they just slide underneath that little tab there. So just pivot and then slide into position, and then hope you don't bump it while you're putting in the heater box. Probably grab a piece of tape to hold it in. Well, my plastic welded piece broke right off. Fortunately, I have another complete airbox, so I'm going to have to swap everything out to the complete unbroken airbox, and we'll put that one in. You might be asking yourself, why did I use this broken airbox and glue it back together when I had a perfectly good one just hanging out? And the answer is this one had a mouse in it, and it kind of creeped me out. So I just decided I would try to repair the other one and see if I could make it work, and I couldn't. So I'm going to peel this airbox apart. I'll show you. Just had something fall off the back of the car. So I'll peel this one apart real quick. I'll show you how to get one of these fan motors out of these air boxes. It's really easy to get these old cars apart. And then I'll go scrub it, clean everything up, put it back together, and we'll put it in the car. first step is to get the fan motor out. And to get the fan motor out, you squeeze these tabs on the back here, and that releases the flap. You just fold that flap down out of the way, and literally this motor just walks out of the, it's got little rubber bumpers on the motor there that hold it in position, and then you feed the wiring out. With the grommet. That's it. That's the whole motor assembly. And we'll test this motor before we put it back in. Now it's just some clips holding this box together. And it comes apart in two sections. I can take it inside, clean it out in utility sink, and remove all of the offensive material inside of it. So you can see it's just got these little clips on here, and they're easier just to slide them off. So they've got these little platforms they sit on. They made sure to hide one right inside there. There we go. The box cleaned up really nice. Now it's just a matter of putting it back together. Don't forget to include the flap. The last step in prepping this heater box to go back into the car is just to put some stick-on weather seal around the top. After a little bit of wrestling to replace the shifter cable, if you guys will remember, the shifter cable was like all seized up and wouldn't go forward and back super easy. I got one from a junkyard. I was looking online and they were about $100 a piece online, and I got a pair of them from a junkyard for 20 bucks. So now with the new shift cable in, it like moves like it's supposed to. It's so much better. Glad I didn't waste a bunch of time trying to free up that cable. Now I'll turn you guys this way. I have the defroster duct in, I have my clips in, my dash is in place. The only thing left to do is to put this heater box in. And hopefully it goes every bit as smooth as I think it will. So the defroster duct fell out the very moment I tried to get that to work. So what I will have to do is undo the dash lift up the dash, put the defroster duct in, and then put the dash back in. One more clip to go in here to hold the center of the dash to your heater box, and that part of the dash installation is done. For those of you that are detail oriented on these cars or know these cars really well, yes, this is a mismatch dashboard. Some of you on Instagram have already pointed out that I don't have the removable speaker cover, which indicates that this dash is from a later car, and you're right. Also doesn't have the removable inserts around the defroster vents, but I do have the early shift pattern shift knob and a lighter, whatever you call it, the Icon lighter or the Zippo lighter or whatever. This is actually from my Datsun. I do have one of the little heater, the buttons somewhere. So when you're dealing with stuff that's 40 plus years old and made of plastic, you got to expect that there's going to be some concessions you're going to have to make. You know, obviously, if I had piles and piles of money, I'd get a one of the hard dashes from the early cars, but I don't have piles and piles of money, so this dash will have to do. Today's little project, I worked on some stuff this morning, had to run some errands. I'll show you what I worked on this morning, and what I'm getting ready to do right now is I've got my brand new oil pump, windage tray. We've got our oil return tube from the turbo hooked up, all welded, ready to go. I just noticed a little bit of dirt on there. Figured I might as well clean it while I have it out. So I have a new gasket for here, a new gasket down here at the pan. I'm going to go put the oil pump in the car and then put on the windage tray and the oil pan, and then I'll give you guys a little quick wrap up of what I did on the car earlier today. So. So I spent most of the morning looking for stuff. I've got boxes and boxes and boxes of stuff set aside for this car, and some of it's duplicates, some of it is not organized as well as it could be or should be, so I do end up spending a little bit more time looking for stuff. But what I was able to come up with was I got a whole complete heater assembly with cables. So now I have the sliders in. And one of the differences on the early car, I'll probably show you guys and talk about it again at a later point, is that the early cars have 3 sliders instead of 2. The later cars have a electrical fan control here. On the earlier cars, this is actually the fan speed control. So, and it actually, there's a cable that hooks to it that works with that little white flap that we talked about on the heater box. So as the fan speed increases, the flap opens or closes. So I had to pull and push the dash in a couple of times. One of the big things I got was I've got the secondary brace mounted for the steering column. So there's 2 bolts up inside the dash that attach to the firewall up here, and then 2 that attach it to the lower steering column. So now the steering column is super solid. It's got the 4 bolts holding it in position like it's supposed to. That actually took a long time to like hunt down the cables, hunt down the clips, hunt down. I had to combine a couple of heater controls to make one good one. So that was my morning. This afternoon I did the oil pump, pan, windage tray, turbo line, all that stuff. So I'm going to go in and start working on this video so that I can get it to you guys next week. But before I go, I will show you guys the new toy that I have for the shop. I'm super excited about it, and here it is. I bought an Eastwood TIG welder. I don't know a lot about TIG welding. I got to do a little bit of it at SEMA, and it was enough to whet my appetite. Eastwood had a really good Cyber Monday sale with free shipping, so I kind of pulled the trigger on it. It'll definitely save me money in the long run by being able to do some of this stuff myself and give me a new skill to learn. So I'm not done setting it up yet. Still got a bunch of stuff to unpack and hook up on it, but that is the new toy. Hopefully I will show you guys some of my welding progress, not prowess, but welding progress in a couple of upcoming episodes. So that is it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this self-inflicted pain I am putting on myself by stepping up and trying to get my rabbit to Germany in May. I think if I can do it, it is going to be really fun. It's always been a dream to take a car over there, and hopefully I can do it. So with that, I will call this a day. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Get out there and work on something.